Hello and welcome back to Movie Health Community, the internet's #1 source of health warnings at the movies. As always, please keep in mind that nothing produced by Movie Health Community is medical advice, and nothing produced by Movie Health Community has been reviewed by medical professionals. Today we are talking about Wonka, the new Paul King family-friendly movie starring Timothée Chalamet as Willy Wonka in an origin story from the director of Paddington. Keep that in mind. But before we talk about whether the movie was any good, let's ask, is this movie safe for photosensitive audiences? The answer is not quite. For most of the runtime, it is pretty safe. But the strobe effects that do happen very suddenly. They're very severe. They happen without warning, but they are very, very quick. Like they never last more than a second or two. There is one pretty severe strobe effect involving a piece of machinery shown shortly after a flashback involving someone's parent, just within moments of that flashback ending. There's one flashback that contains some severe lightning throughout it. There's a part pretty early on where you get the illusion that you're looking through a flip book, which does create a little bit of a strobe effect. For flashing lights, just to be on the safe side, we're giving Wonka a 7 out of 10. Most of the runtime is safe, but the strobes that are in there are pretty severe, even if they only last a second or two. In terms of motion, all of the camera motion is really smooth. There's a little bit of dealing with extreme heights, a few swooping or spinning shots, a little bit of flying, but nothing too serious. I would say one spinning shot late in the film is probably the most disorienting thing you're going to find. The only mental health warning I have is that one character has a gagging reflex. He makes gagging noises whenever a very specific trigger sets him off. That's it for the evaluation side of this. Now, is this movie any good? I feel like a lot of people are going to go into this movie with some doubts. But the biggest thing I think really helps to keep in mind is the fact that this is Paul King making a new movie, the director of Paddington, and more importantly, Paddington 2, which may be a perfect family film. This definitely solidifies his status as a really great, really wholesome filmmaker for the whole family. Wonka was a delightful movie. Timothée Chalamet was a surprisingly charismatic Willy Wonka. Definitely not on the same level as Gene Wilder, but miles above Johnny Depp. Overall, this movie felt more like a Roald Dahl story than the original Willy Wonka movie did. Somehow it did it even better than Tim Burton's movie, which, I'll be fair to Tim Burton's movie, I'm not a fan of it, but it does a better job capturing that dark spirit that's in that book. This new movie just did a really good job making it optimistic and just so wholesome, and you feel so good while watching this movie. That's something that Paul King is just so good about, and I know there are some directors that anytime they make a movie, it deserves everybody's attention. Steven Spielberg, obviously, Ridley Scott, Denis Villeneuve. Paul King is definitely up there now. I would say the music, if the best musical movies in the world are an A+, I would give the music in this movie maybe a solid C. Definitely a lot better than I could write. I am not a good songwriter at all. The score was great, and most importantly, and this is an improvement on any movie where this is the case, everybody looks like they're having such a good time making this movie. And just like with Brendan Fraser's The Mummy, it even looks like the people behind the scenes are having fun. So for this movie, if you liked Paddington or Paddington 2, then definitely check this one out. If you like a good over-the-top fantasy story with an evil Dickensian British villain that's way too cartoonish to be remotely real, this is a good movie for you. I'm gonna give Wonka an A-. Thank you so much to our followers on Tumblr and Facebook, and an extra special thanks to our patrons over on our Patreon page whose names are scrolling across the screen like credits right now. Be sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of our newest videos, and be sure to leave a comment below if you have anything to add to this discourse, especially if you disagree with anything that I've said here. We love hearing from you. And as always, stay safe at the movies.